Hey everyone, this is Lynn Wilson. Welcome back to my home. I'm sitting here editing some of my YouTube videos and working on my planner. You know, I'm a planner girl. You got to have your planner. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, what's there to plan? At least in New Jersey, we're stay at home and basically can't go anywhere. Everything's shut down. All of our county parks, all of our state parks, most of our stores other than grocery stores, gas stations, and pharmacies for the most part. But you know what? We need to make a plan. Let me ask you a question. Since we're sitting here having this nice little chat, are you panicking? Are you feeling just completely overwhelmed and panicking? What do I do? Where's my money coming from? Where's my food coming from? Do I have enough food? They're saying that we could right now, this could turn into a depression. My dad grew up in the Depression, and I did a video yesterday on resources that you can use, and part of that was depression cooking. And they're saying that we're headed into a depression, the whole entire economy and the United States. Is that true? I don't know. Are we going to feel the effects of the coronavirus for a while? Absolutely. There's no way you can shut a country down and shut states down the way we have with the amount of unemployment that we have and not feel the effects of that. They say meat plants are closing. Granted, the news makes it this big because they have to sell news. If they don't make it drama and exciting, nobody's going to watch the news. If everything's peachy pie, you're going to be bored. And so they sell drama. Yes, the facts are, I'm sure, there are some plants closing. They say they're closing because people are getting sick. To me, common sense. These people are sick, hire new people. Even if it's temporary for 2-month, time, hire somebody to replace them. Why shut a business down when we have so many people out of work that need work? That's just my 2 cents. But anyway, are you panicking? Are you afraid? I have to say, I have to take a deep breath. And number one rule is you don't panic. Are you a prepper? I watched somebody yesterday on YouTube who spent $1,000. She went shopping, and she said, I don't have to shop for 2 years other than fresh produce, fresh eggs, and fresh milk. I don't know that I have $1,000. I know I don't have $1,000, and my husband is not, and we do not, in our budget to spend on food that we won't eat for 2 years. For me, that's her personal choice. She has a whole story behind it, I'm sure. No judgment there, but using her as an example. She's a prepper. I am a preparer. That's not even a word, but we're going to pretend it's a word. So are you panicking? Are you prepping? Are you getting prepared? 3 P's. You pick which one. Panic, prep, or prepare. I'm going to prepare. You know, in the Bible, there was a time where it said famine is coming. And the Lord told David, there's going to be a famine. So he needed to prepare. I don't know what we're getting. Famine, depression, weird things happening, meat plants are closing. If they close, you know the price of meat is going to go up. So what do we do to prepare? You're unemployed, you're a single mom, you're on a tight budget. I get it, we're on a tight budget. So you take the money that you do have and you prepare. You look for sales. I know some people, I get it. You only want to go to one store. I totally get it. But you know what? This is the time where you might have to do 2 or 3 stores. Maybe take a morning and do that. Prepare. Do not panic, but prepare. And look and see what prices are of chicken. Maybe you can get chicken really cheap and maybe get 2 packages instead of 1 package. I know in New Jersey we're limited to 2 packages of chicken, 2 packages of chopped meat. Well, don't buy a little package, buy the big package. Think about that. If you can get only 2 packages of eggs, don't get a little package, get a big package. Get what you can afford. Do not put yourself in debt over food. God will also provide our daily needs. The Bible is clear on that. He will provide our daily needs. But I wanted to come on here because people are panicking. People are getting crazy with stocking and hoarding, and I live in a very small town here in New Jersey. It's predominantly senior citizens. There's one grocery store in our town, If you went there right now, there's no toilet paper, there's no paper towel, there's no ice cream, there's no frozen pizza, there's no meat, there's no cat food, there's no dog food, there's no pasta, there's no canned tuna. I'm trying to think of some of the other things. There's plenty of milk and yogurt, and there's plenty of fruits and vegetables. Why are you stocking up on ice cream? What is going to happen if you do not have your ice cream? But they are panicking. We know someone that's a local appliance guy and a delivery guy around here. He said they're all buying freezers and they're sticking them in their living room and wherever they can and filling them. They're panicking. Okay, don't panic, but be prepared. So do what you can do. So at the end of this video, I'm going to show you two easy things you can make. One is muffins. They're actually dinner rolls that I found on Facebook, but no yeast. I know yeast is a hard thing to find. So no yeast, first time I've ever made them. We're gonna sample them together. And also lentils and rice, first time I've ever made that. I love lentil soup, I love rice, but I've never made it in the Instant Pot. So I tried that, sampled it, we're gonna have it for lunch today. Oh, so good. So I'll share both of those recipes in the description below. Last night, oh, can you smell them? Oh my goodness. I made a new recipe for banana muffins. And I didn't have vanilla extract, so I used almond extract. They are the most moist muffins I've ever made. The flavor is sensational, absolutely delicious. So budget friendly. It was what I had in the house. We added some peanut butter for a little protein, and it was fantastic. So I will also link that video or that recipe for you. So what can I say? How can I encourage you? We want this channel to be an encouragement to you. So don't panic. Do not panic. I had a video out on Tuesday and I will link that below. And I'm doing a weekly devotion on just one verse that you can hang on to for the entire week. And it's in Deuteronomy 31:8. And it tells you there, the Lord says, do not be discouraged. Do not be afraid. I've gone before you. He's already past all of this. If we fall into a depression, He's beyond that. He tells us, don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. If God is telling us that, He knows that we're going to have those feelings. He created us. He knows we're human. But He's reminding us, don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. If you panic, you become afraid. If you panic, you become discouraged. Don't do that. Prep. Yes, do some preparations. I wouldn't say prep for the next 2 to 5 years because I just think that's a waste of money. If you have money to throw around and you want to buy an extra 2, 3 freezers, go for it. Go for it. If you've got the money, I'd say go for it. If you're like most Americans, we live paycheck to paycheck and money is tight, you're looking for frugal meals that cost pennies, this is the place to come. I'm going to be doing more and more meals that cost pennies. We don't have a lot of money. And the money we have, we want to pay off our bills. We want to get out of debt so that we can feel free by the end of this year. Let's aim to all be 100% debt-free on a tight budget, putting money aside for emergencies. We're not going to panic. We're going to prepare. And we're going to do what the Lord told David to do, was be prepared. There's going to be a famine. Well, the Lord is telling us things are tight, things are crazy. He's giving us more and more warning signs, so to speak. We got to be prepared. So let's prepare. Let's prepare together. I'll tell you what, you leave me a comment below of how you were preparing. I started a pantry. I will link that video below. I have had, I collected extra pasta and extra sauce and whatever. And I put that here, there, and everywhere. But I never really had a regular pantry. And I did one. I started it. It's a work in progress. It's not only a pantry for right now, for what I'm using today, but it's a pantry to take me through for the next couple of months. You have a week you're not feeling good, or there's a snowstorm, or the power goes out, or, anything like that. You want to be prepared and have extra food in the house that you don't have to worry about. I got back into canning. Yes, canning. Old fashioned. Martha Stewart here. Grab a canning jar and start canning. I've canned raw chicken. Yes, raw, not cooked. And I've canned chicken on the bone. Oh, it is the best when you open that jar and you make a meal out of it. Number one, you've already prepared. Number two, you're prepping in a sense because I'm stocking up my pantry with that. But you know what? It's not sitting in my freezer. It can stay up to 5 years in the jars. It won't last that long. But I don't have to fill my freezer with a bunch of meat. But I can fill my freezer maybe with vegetables, maybe some bread or whatever. But I'm going to be doing more canning of chicken. I have 2 packages of chicken, one that I bought, one that someone just gave me. We're going to be canning that in the next few days, getting that up on the shelf. I've canned some soup. I made soup for a meal. I had leftovers, so I canned it. So yeah, we're getting into canning. I'm getting back into homemade bread. I made a loaf of bread the other day for lunch the next day for sandwiches. There was just a little bit left, and I don't remember what I made for dinner. And my son said, "Can we have cheeseburgers?" And he will not eat a cheeseburger unless it's on a roll. And I said, "Gavin, I don't have any hamburger rolls." So he points down to the homemade bread I made and he goes, "So what's the problem?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And he says, "Well, you made bread, you can't make rolls." So he thinks, super mom over here, mom can make everything. Well, you know what? We can learn how to do this, and that's what we're going to do together. So please don't panic. Yes, prepare, but I would not suggest a prepper for 5-10 years and so on, unless you're living in the backwoods somewhere where there's no stores and you can't get out. But things will be made available to us. Again, maybe differently, maybe not exactly what we like, and that's okay. So we're going to leave here. I'm done, pretty much done with my laptop. So we're going to leave here. We're going to head over to my kitchen. We're going to review how to make lentils and rice. I'm actually not going to cook it for you, but I've already cooked it, but I'm going to show you what I did. And again, that recipe will be in the description. And we are going to make some no yeast mamas, that's what the name of it was, dinner rolls together. Let's see how it comes out, and let's have some fun together. So come on in my kitchen with me. Hey, so we're talking about prepping or panicking. Which one are you? Are you preparing your home for the future? Or are you panicking in this pandemic? And I don't know what to do, and I'm running out of food, and I have no pantry, and I can't find what I need. So we need to calm down, first of all. First things that we need to do, number one, is no panicking. Number two, we need to take stock of what we have in our pantry. Number three, I would say make a plan. Like, what do we have in order to feed our family for the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next month? Don't go thinking 2 years out. I heard someone yesterday on YouTube, she went and spent $1,000 on food. She said, "I don't have to shop for 2 years." Well, that's wonderful. I don't have $1,000 to spend on food. I have bills to pay, but I do have my normal small amount of grocery money. So I'll tell you what, I tried for the first time lentils and rice. I love lentil soup, and that's my favorite thing to get if we go out to a restaurant and they have a good lentil soup. But lentils and rice is a hearty meal. It's a good side dish. It's a good filler, fills the bellies, especially if you have kids and they need a full meal. So I made some for the first time, and I will post that in the description on the recipe. First time I've ever tried it. I took a sample, had my husband be a guinea pig and try it. Both thumbs up. Absolutely delicious. Come on over and see it. It does not look delicious, I will warn you, so be warned. There's your lentils and rice. But it doesn't look good. It smells incredible. I used 1 package of lentils, any kind of lentils. I got this at the dollar store. Now, I think Walmart might be 98 cents, so $1, okay? These are green lentils, whatever kind of lentils you can get. 1 package, I rinsed them. 1 cup of rice. Now, this was a full bag, so here's how much I used, and here's how much I still have. So this was free. Somebody gave me a bag of rice. So far I've spent $1. The ingredients, I will post the original recipe. Of course, this is Lynn's kitchen, so you know, we do what we have in the kitchen. But I'll post the original recipe on in the description. It'll also be on my website. But thyme, I have this, someone gave me this, it was free. It's a spray. I've never heard of that. I'll show you that. It's a spray thyme. So thyme, they call for oregano. I didn't have just oregano, I had Italian seasoning, which has some thyme in it, but oh well, we got extra. It called for sliced garlic. I don't have that. I make a mixture. I call it my everyday seasoning. It's onion powder, garlic powder, and parsley all together. Why put a little this and a little that when you do it every time anyway? So equal amounts of onion powder, garlic powder, and fresh parsley. And I had some parsley that I bought in the store. I'm trying to use up because I also have my own parsley that I've dehydrated. And I think I'm going to put a little bit more parsley in it. But anyway, that's my everyday seasoning. So I didn't have fresh garlic. I used this. And then it called for chicken bouillon. And I like this one in particular by Noor's. So some of that. And 6 cups of water. So 1 cup rice, 1 bag of lentils, your seasoning, 6 cups of water, no salt, no pepper. Put it in your Instant Pot, put it on the rice setting, let it go. It was done in about 15-20 minutes. We're gonna have that with some fish fillets for lunch and a side of corn, and have our bigger meal at lunchtime, and just do maybe some spaghetti and salad for dinner. Keep it light on the other end. So that's one quick and easy Depression style meal. I'm sure back in the Depression, lentils and rice, or lentils, just plain lentils, cooked up. Kind of like a pea soup, you make a lentil soup. It's cheap, $1. Now the amount that's in here, there's 3 of us in my family that are living in the house right now. This could probably sustain us for a week of lunches, a whole week. I'm saying 5, 6, maybe even 7 days. You do that with some crackers one day, do that with a salad, do that by itself, do this with some fruit, maybe this with a side dish of some veggies. We're doing it with fish today and corn, and using it as a side dish for a main meal. The amount that it made from 1 cup of rice and 1 bag of lentils for 3 people, at least 7 days for a lunch meal in a bowl for $1. So divide that by 7, you're talking a cheap meal. You can sustain yourself as a single person. Cook this up, freeze some of it, pull it out as you need it. A great thing, it tastes good, you don't feel like you're being cheated out, and it costs pennies. This is what we need to do. We need to use our resources and get our food bill down to just pennies. Things are going to change. Things are going to get tight. Meat prices are going up, all that. Not to panic over it, but to think smarter. And, okay, so I got another recipe for you. You're getting a double bonus today. I will have both of these linked below. This is called Mama's Dinner Rolls, but no yeast. I know yeast is a hard thing to find, so Mama's Easy, no yeast dinner rolls. I found this on Facebook, so you're going to be a guinea pig with me. We're going to find out if we like this. So if you want to bake it along with me, that's great. Pause this video and then bring it back once you have all your ingredients laid out, and we can bake together. Wouldn't that be cool? And then message me below, leave a comment, and let me know how your dinner rolls came out. So, and we're going to put that with our fish and our lentils today. So it calls for 1 cup of flour, not too much, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a cup of milk, and 2 tablespoons of mayo. So I'm going to pull all that together, and then I'll invite you back and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I mixed milk, flour, salt, baking powder, and I had Miracle Whip. I didn't have mayonnaise. So again, we're using what we have. And I followed the directions. It did not make a whole lot. Very little. So and it's pretty thick and dense. So I'm not going to do anything. I want to follow it exact. If it comes out terrible, I'll be honest with you. We write that one off. It comes out great. Wonderful. So I have a 6 cup, whoop, looks like it's got a little extras in there. Oh no, that's just the oil. Okay. I have a 6 cup muffin tin. I have a recipe for easy breakfast muffins. I have to get you that recipe. It is absolutely delicious. They're best to make the night before. They're kind of like a scone. When you make them the next day, they really absorb the flavor, but they're quick and easy. And what I do is, I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but I get so excited about this stuff that costs pennies. I make the recipe, and then I make another batch of just the dry ingredients in a container. So when I need a quick breakfast muffin, the night before, I pull out the container, I add my eggs, my milk, we're ready to go. Let it sit overnight, absorbs all the flavors. It's kind of like the hot milk cake with the different extracts. I'll link that in the description below. We made that yesterday. But you can change the flavor if you want, or you can just have it plain with some butter and jam. Oh, it's so good. So I put them in here so they make a nice tall muffin. So whether you have a 6 tin like this or 12, whatever you have, again, we're using what we have. Don't go out and buy anything. We're saving money, we're saving our pennies, and we're trying to have meals that cost pennies. So I'm gonna just, let's see, I'm gonna plop a spoonful in each one, and then if I have extra, I'll go back and add more, because again, I don't know how much this really is going to fill. I'm thinking with a teaspoon of baking soda, these are gonna puff up quite a bit. So we'll find out. All right, that one's a big one. So let's go back and refill some of these with some extra. I did spray the tins with some butter spray. Again, use what you have. If you don't have butter spray, use some butter. Use Crisco. You use margarine. You use what you have. We are getting back into doing cooking like we did in, I wasn't there, but the way they did it in the Depression. You use what you have, you spend pennies, you don't waste a thing. If God gave it to you, you use it. If you don't like it, find a way that you can like it. My son does not like rice, but I made rice-a-roni the other day, and he loved it. So lentils and rice will be very similar to that, where it has more flavor. Rice is very filling, and it's a great side dish. I also have a recipe for homemade rice-a-roni, so that's another video up and coming. So hey guys, if you're not following me, don't forget to subscribe, because I have some great recipes up and coming. Depression cooking, simple cooking, cooking with pennies. Okay, so here's how it filled. Not bad, right, for 6? All right, we're gonna pop it in the oven. I'll bring you back when we take it out of the oven. We'll look at it, give it a smell test, give it a little taste test, let you know what I think. So I'll be back in a few. Okay, the dinner rolls are done. Here we go. They smell great. It says that it makes 5. I, of course, didn't quite read the directions, so I put it in a 6 muffin tin, but that's okay. They're just a little bit smaller. And it says to put some butter on the top, which I've done. They're still hot. They smell great. I asked my husband to sample one, and I got wow and a big thumbs up. So I guess they came out delicious. Again, no yeast, so that's good. He also wanted to sample a bowl of the lentils. I have one problem. Do you hear that? I have an empty bowl. I filled his bowl with lentils and rice, and they're gone, and the fish isn't even ready for our lunch. He's already had a bowl of lentils and rice. He's already had a muffin. He's a happy boy. I better take that off my laptop because this is hot. But there's the muffins, there's the lentils and rice. I'm excited that you stopped by. I hope you're having a great day. I hope these 2 recipes will teach you that you only need to spend pennies to have a great meal. We don't have to make our meals all this exciting type of a menu. Keep things simple. Keep things down to costing pennies to feed your family. Save the money for the other things that you need as well. I'm not saying not to feed them. I'm not saying do not give them a nutritional meal. But these are times that are a little different, and steak every night is not going to cut it. So enjoy your lentils and rice. Enjoy your muffins that you can throw together quickly. More recipes to come. Thanks for coming by my home. I hope you felt welcomed. I hope you feel that I've just encouraged you a little bit today. Do not panic. Yes, prep and yes, prepare, but do not panic. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next video.